Welcome to Neighborhood Mechanic. This is a Toyota Camry. Today I'm going to show you how to replace your noisy hub.
Welcome to Neighborhood Mechanic. Today I'll show you how to diagnose this problem correctly and repair it the smarter way. Everything I use in this repair, including parts and tools, can be found in the description. If you're stuck on your own repair, need diagnostic help, or want a second opinion on a repair estimate, check the helpful links in the description below. Let's get started.
Passenger driver side, most likely this is the bearing here. Now, if it's coming strictly from the passenger side, you got to check one more thing before going to the hub. So best thing is to jack the car up, put a car in neutral, lock the rear wheel, and turn your tire while it's connected. If you hear noise from the hub, perfect. Sometimes the axle bearing right there can make that noise as well from the passenger side, and you can easily misdiagnose it without listening to the sound carefully. So in our case, it is the actual hub assembly. Now, you can do two things. We can replace the entire spindle or just the hub itself with the bearing. That requires a special press, which you will have to rent. When you go to the AutoZone local parts store, you can get the hub assembly, for example, $120, or even if it's $80. Then you have to rent the tool to press the bearing and the front hub into the spindle. That requires time. Sometimes when you're trying to do repairs yourself, you don't want to get into the repairs that you don't know how to do. So if this is the first time you're doing it yourself, I have a good news for you. You don't have to buy just the hub and bearing, because for the exact same price, you can buy the entire spindle. Comes with the new axle nut, new hub, new bearing, shield, and brand new spindle. You cannot beat this price. I'm going to put a link for this part in the description. You can buy it. This is the exact same price of just the bearing and the hub assembly from buying local parts store. So if you have a noise, you want to fix it, my advice to you is order this part first. Wait for it to get delivered, then start to work. To remove this from the car, all you can see is you need to do is remove the lower ball joint, tie rod end for your steering, and the strut assembly bolts and brake caliper bolts. After that, you have an ABS sensor that's connected here with the 110mm bolt. Remove that out of the way. Then you turn around. Up front, you're going to need to remove this axle nut. That's a 12 point. None of the 6 points will work. If you can try it, you might damage it, but get yourself a 12 point socket. I'm going to leave the description of the actual socket, a link for the actual socket in the description too. You can buy that. It looks something like this. So you got 30mm, 12 point with the proper drive that you're using to open the spindle. Now let's go get to the work. This is how it looks on your car. I already took the caliper out and I left the mounting bracket on. I'm going to take this off and transfer it once I remove this completely. You also have this bolt and this bolt that needs to be removed. All right, and then we're going to need to remove this fastener here, which I already have. At the bottom ball joint, you can not access to the bolt here. You have to do that by removing the axle first. We're not doing that. We're just going to open these 1, 2, and 3 out of the way to get the lower ball joint out of the way. So to do that, there we got 3. Next, we're going to open these guys here. Whatever tool you choose to remove this bolt's up to you. Its impact gun is the best one here, but you can get the bolt out. You can hammer this part and this will knock out. Do not hammer this part, hammer the actual spindle side. It will loosen the ball joint out of its socket and it comes out. Now let's pop this. As soon as you pop the axle out, spindle does not want to stay in place. It's just basically wobbles out. Lift it out of the way. Here you go. Since you have spindle out, you can inspect the ball joint. Looks good. It's not that bad. We're gonna take out this pin. Get yourself socket set up like this. Pop it out. There you go. It doesn't come out. You're just gonna hammer here. And it's out. Well, kind of. You gotta wiggle it out. Now we need to remove caliper bracket, because I did not want to remove it while it's on the car. Perfect. So as you remove these bolts, brackets out. There you go. So if you are doing your brakes, put new rotors. If you're using the old ones, transfer your rotor. So here's your old spindle, your new spindle. See that? Now let's start installing new parts. But before you do that, you do want to make sure the shock tower assembly matches. Let's put our ball joint on. Just a little persuasion, not too much. Put this back on and tighten it. At this point, you can put a rotor and the caliper bracket back on if you're able to handle it all at once, because it does get heavy when you want to install it by yourself. So what we're going to do right now is install the ball joint into the hole and guide the axle into here same time. There you go. Line up the bottom bolts, line up the axle shaft, pull it up, line up your spindle with the strut assembly. I wasn't really listening, but we got it done. There's no spacers or washer there, so you don't have to worry about that. We're just gonna install this axle nut and then secure the bottom ball joint. Perfect. What you could do is get a punch or anything to bend this part of the socket, this part of the fastener into this hole. That prevents this fastener from opening when it's not supposed to. Okay, so let's push this ball joint in place now. Grab this side and push it down, like so. Guide all the bolts before tightening anything, because sometimes if you don't guide all the bolts, the last one probably won't line up, and it's always a headache. Perfect. Tighten it. If you're using your torque gun or impact gun, adjust your torque. If you have too much torque, that bolt will snap on the ball joint. Tie rod end. By the way, these outer tie rod ends part is damaged. This part. We're going to tighten that. Next, we're going to need to install the ABS sensor. And yes, this is what your ABS sensor looks like. Goes into that hole, just slide it in. Put a 10mm bolt that came out of there. One of the sensors bad. Don't panic, they're not hard to change. They're right here, come out right up here and plug up there. Some cars, they're built into the hub. Some cars, they're just pointed from here. You got to remove the rotors and pads. So they're always around this area. I'm going to go ahead, torque everything down, and I'll be right back. Once you have confirmed, torque down the strut assembly, outer tie rod end, lower ball joint, and your axle nut fastener, then you're going to install your rotors, like so. Just to make job easy, just get one of the wheel nut and make sure to put the rotor in place. This would help you to install your brake pads without having to juggle with rotor, because rotor keeps coming in the way. Make sure you didn't lose any of your brake pads hardware, because it's easy to come out. Clean it up and put your pads back on. They're easy. You're gonna grab like this and push it in. Same on the other side. Most of the Toyotas have this retaining clip that goes right here in the pad, and the other one in the other pad, and you have to hold them together while putting the caliper back on. You have to hold them together with one hand while sliding the caliper back onto it. Get your bottom bolt.
If this video is helping you, please take a second to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps support Neighborhood Mechanic and allows me to keep making real repair videos like this. And remember, useful parts, tools, diagnostic help, and second opinion links are available in the description below.
Because I did not open the top bolt, it's 14 millimeter. Tighten it, torque it. Okay, at this point, before you call this a complete, you gotta recheck your work. So you have to make sure the axle nut is tight. These ones you did tight down. This one is tight. And the bottom ball joint bolts are fully torqued. You also have to make sure you tighten the ball joint. Now, one thing you do have to install back in are your locking pins. Where'd they go? I mean, if you remove them, you know exactly where they go. Once you've done all this, spin the wheel to make sure it's not binding against the shield, because during install the shield can bend a little bit and start touching the rotor, cause you all type of noises. You also then make sure for the mounts are tight and the caliper bolts are tight, both of them, because what's stopping your car is your brake caliper. You see this? This is not good. Apparently the vacuum during install prevented this from sealing properly. If you don't take care of this, the dust will collect here and you will have a caliper that's seizing or locking. So I'm gonna fix this. I'll be right back. This is how it should look like, fully sealed. Now let's put the wheel back on. All work is done. And this is how you replace your hub assembly or wheel bearing. And in my opinion, same price, $80 or $90, you can get the whole spindle with the bearing and hub than just getting hub and bearing. So think about it. I am going to leave all my links in the description for you guys to buy what I used here. And best of luck with your install. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe.
Tired of high repair bills? Get a free second opinion. Just upload your estimate and I'll give you honest advice. Thanks for watching Neighborhood Mechanic. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need it. Check out the neighborhood links, and want another before spending the money, there's a second opinion link in the description as well. Thanks for supporting Neighborhood Mechanic, and I'll see you in the next repair.